Accountancy firms can now register with Companies House as Authorised Corporate Service Providers, ACSPs, under new provisions in the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act. In this AMLbites, we look at the purpose of the Act, explain why and when you need to register as an ACSP, and offer some tips on how to navigate the application process. I'm Michelle Giddings, Head of AML in Professional Standards at ICAEW, and I take lead operational responsibility for the AML supervision of our firms. The Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act is designed to make the information held by Companies House more accurate and trustworthy, and to improve its ability to help in the fight against economic crime. As a package, the new measures should improve transparency, help the register become more accurate, and give those searching for company information greater confidence that directors and persons of significant control are identity verified, and therefore they are who they say they are. The first set of measures which came into effect in March 2024 included greater powers for Companies House to query information, more robust checks on companies' names, new rules for registered office addresses, the introduction of lawful purpose statements, and new data sharing powers. And these measures are already producing results. We invited Mark Buckley from Companies House to present on our webinar on ACSPs and ECTA in June 2025, and you can watch that webinar via the on-demand section of our AML resources. Mark explained that between the changes coming into effect from March 2024 and March 2025, Companies House has prevented over 14,000 suspicious filings, including rejecting over 3,500 incorporation documents. And finally, there is also a new system whereby third parties, including accountants, who want to provide IDV services for their clients or file at Companies House on behalf of clients will have to register as an authorised corporate service provider. If you want to simply file information on behalf of your clients, then you don't need to register as an ACSP yet, but you will have to be an ACSP from spring/summer 2026. Firms that want to offer identity verification services to their clients can register under the scheme now. As an ACSP, providing identity verification services for your client is purely voluntary. If you don't wish to provide this, then you don't need to. Most clients can and will identity verify themselves directly at Companies House. And if you don't already have the digital Know Your Client processes or properly trained staff, setting up IDV that meets the new Companies House requirements could be costly. Therefore, we think this is a service that only a small number of accountancy firms is likely to get involved in. Voluntary IDV for directors and PSCs, persons of significant control, launched in April 2025. From the 18th of November this year, IDV for directors and PCs will become mandatory, and it will fall due at the time of the company's confirmation statement. That's because the directors and PSCs will need to provide Companies House with their personal codes, which they will have received following the ID verification process. Consequently, the transition period will end in November 2026 once all companies have submitted their confirmation statement. And after that, all directors and PSCs on the register will have been ID verified. There are two routes for directors and PSCs to meet the IDV requirements. They can do it directly through Companies House using the Government One login, or they can do it through an ACSP. Once successfully verified, the individuals will receive a personal code, and as of the 10th of June, Companies House had processed about 80,000 IDVs through one login and around 2,000 via an ACSP. Now, if a company has multiple directors and just one of those directors has not identity verified and got their personal code when the confirmation statement is due, then that statement can't be delivered. So all the directors need to have their personal code at the point that the confirmation statement is due, otherwise it will go overdue. And remember, you will also need to verify the identity for directors and PSCs for your own practice if you're a limited company or limited liability partnership. And if you want to register as an ACSP, you'll need to verify your identity before you can use the online registration service. If you decide to register as an ACSP, either to provide IDV services to clients now or to ensure that you can file on their behalf in the future, the process is straightforward. To register, you must be supervised by a UK AML supervisory body, such as ICAEW. So before you start, make sure you're eligible to apply. Just being an ICAEW member or being regulated by us for something like audit or investment business doesn't automatically mean you're AML supervised. You need to either meet the member firm definition or you need to have an AML contract in place. Once you've confirmed you're eligible, the application simply requires you to supply specific and accurate details about your firm to Companies House. This includes your firm's name, address, and email, as well as your company number if you're a limited company, the name of your AML supervisory body, and your AML reference number. If you're a sole practitioner, you need to use the firm name that ICAEW records, and you'll find that on your annual return. Once Companies House has gathered all the data from your application, they will cross-reference that with the limited company data they hold and the records from the AML supervisor. You'll also be asked to complete IDV for your own firm as part of the application and to pay a £55 registration fee. And once registered, you'll receive a new digital account and unique identity number, which will allow you to file information as well as complete IDV for your clients if you wish to. The person registering the firm as an ACSP can add other employees to the ACSP account once it's registered and approved. We know that Companies House have rejected a large number of applications simply because they couldn't validate and verify the data provided against the information they hold from the AML supervisors. Here on this slide, we've tried to explain some of the key areas that we've found that have caused applications to be rejected. So remember, your ICAEW firm number, the AML reference number, is a C0 or an A0 number, and you can find that on your firm's annual return. Don't submit anything that begins with LO because that's a reference number for location, and don't use your personal ICAEW member number because we don't provide those to Companies House. So that's very important for sole practitioners. You must use your firm number, which is likely to be a C0 number and not your personal ICAEW member number. You should also provide the firm name that we hold on its records, and you can find that on your firm's annual return. So don't use trading names because we don't share those with Companies House either. We'll provide more information and FAQs on the application process. At ICAEW, we'll continue to highlight relevant updates from Companies House, and we're trying to support our firms with further guidance material as it's needed. Our recent webinar is available on demand, and we're also preparing a series of AMLbites videos covering key issues such as IDV requirements and challenges and application concerns and FAQs. Finally, look out for the follow-up to this AMLbites, which will discuss IDV in more detail for ACSPs wishing to offer this service to their clients.